Alright, what is up YouTube? Welcome to the weekly demo session. Everyone is here today with a special guest, and our startup will show you what we did this week. And I think the proper explanation I will leave to my CEO.
Well, thanks for the intro. Welcome back to another week of demo session. Once a week, I want to show you exactly what we're working on, what we're doing every single week. Acta is a company that builds companies, and right now we're working on 3 different companies, and we want to document exactly what we do every single week. It's a short moment for the team to show what we've been grinding on all week, the things we accomplished, the things we finished, which is always amazing for us to show. And at the same time, we want to answer all the questions you might have around how we built those companies and so forth. So yeah, I think today we have a packed session with a lot of stuff. But before that, Justus, how did the week feel like? How was the vibe? How would you describe the vibe of the week?
Good. I came back from being sick 1 week, so I missed the entire last week, in case of anyone wondering where I went last week. But yeah, we're back, a lot of energy. We did some morning runs and some experimental stuff, which I liked. But overall, I think the energy, even though it seems low, is getting back. And everyone was crazy productive. Sometimes it was really quiet because, for example, the guy from Nova was so locked in. Eli will show you some exciting news later, I guess. But yeah, we're going forward.
I think my personal highlight, not work-wise, but around work, was our 5:30 a.m. run. On Thursday, we all woke up at 4:30, 4:45, whatever it was, met at the beach, Clifton, with everyone at 5:30, went for a run. Everyone finished, it was good. And we went into the ocean afterwards. I think it was a very nice start. The reason why we did this was also just to shock our system a bit. You know, we were a bit in this routine. We, have our first meditation at 10 before people already started working. But then, it's this groove. And I think sometimes it's nice to actually step out of it, do something out of the ordinary in that sense, to switch things up. And I think it was nice for everyone, right? Akshat, was it run good? Perfect. Nice. Yeah, video soon. We shot a lot of content. So I think without further ado, let's go into the first update, which is on Project Nova. So Eli can join with a special guest today. More on that in a second. For the ones who don't know what Project Nova or Reflector is, the quick intro is we want to solve the problem of leadership coaches being really expensive and inaccessible for many people. So there's a lot of ambitious people in the world, consultants, freelancers, solopreneurs, founders, entrepreneurs, especially founders, and they deal with so many things in their life. And to stay on track and really do your best work, it can be really life-changing to work with a leadership coach or a coach. And when we say coach, we don't mean those e-commerce, I show you how to scale meta ads type of coaches. This is not what we talk about. What we talk about actually a sort of person with a psychology background that goes deeply into your why, that tries to kind of sense what is blocking you, helps you to find clarity. So it's a really different coaching experience from the word coach that many associate with it. I think it's an important distinction to make. And we've been doing a few iterations, and Nova, which is called now the working title and also I think the release title, is coming to life. So I'm excited for the updates from this week. So Eli, take it away. I'll move the laptop here and then you can share what you did this week together with our special guest. We're not announcing yet, right?
I think he's on call already, right? Oh yeah. It's actually, I think it's like super interesting to see, Nova, which has kind of started out as this little side project or like side experiment, which is now kind of transforming into this, full-fledged app, which is about to be released in the App Store tomorrow. Second app of Acta, yeah. All right. Is Arda in the screen? Arda? Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Sure.
So,
say hi to Arda. Right? What's up?
Wait, do the mic.
Something.
Oh man, yeah, the two of us really had an amazing week.
Hello everyone.
Actually.
My internet sucks, but yeah.
I can see the skyline in Istanbul.
Alright guys, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's maybe, you know what? Let's actually start with landing page. So I think within the everything which I'm showing here, I think has happened kind of like within the last 3 or 4 days or so. So maybe let's start with the landing page, because every product at some point will need a landing page. So with this, you might think it kind of looks like the product, but like once you try typing something in, you'll get redirected down here, where you'll find the link where you can finally download it in like a couple of days or so, depending what Apple thinks of our submission. Besides that, because that's only a minor thing, maybe Arda can talk a bit about the backend restructuring which we've been doing. Arda, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So I can share my screen. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I have to give an access to it, but no. Yeah. Basically, first of all, I would like to share our backend structure first, because many people think that we are just using one prompt and we have built an app with AI and then we are just promoting and so on. Basically, what we are solving is one of the hardest engineering problems human being has ever had. It is emotions and life coaching, basically. For the backend side of our app, we have our base structure. Basically, our base prompt contains the personality of our coach, and otherwise we have coaching templates for each sessions. Basically, when you have one main session, it means that it's a default session, and you have templates according to that part. And we have our onboarding template and check-in templates and follow-up templates also. Those are the core templates that we have for our chat mechanism. Otherwise, we have user context, summary, check-in, follow-up, and follow-up generation, and check-in generation endpoints and templates also. Basically, when you build an AI app, you build a RAG system, like a retrieval augmented generation system, and you basically put all of your chats, all of your context and everything in there, and AI just trying to find the exact things that you have said before from that huge database. We didn't want to do that. What we wanted to do is just having one user context that we put all the core information there, and then we take other informations from our summary endpoints, basically our summaries, coaching summaries. After each session, we summarize your session and we take the core parts, maybe like long-term memory, short-term context, and critical things that you have said to our AI models, and we feed the AI with that information. And also we have check-ins and follow-ups. Follow-ups are like when you have something to do, basically you are going for a walk tomorrow at 8 a.m. in the morning. We just take that info from your chat and we just feed the AI for your second session, and we send you a notification at 8 a.m. and we say, how was your walking today? And when you get inside, like when you clicked in the notification, you just get into this chat model that's this session, and you start talking about your walk, how did you feel, and so on. And we have different prompts for different situations, basically. And we always remember the core parts and the small parts of what you have said to our AI models without using retrieval augmented generation. And it is simple, it is reliable, it is cheaper, and it works really good for you, because we don't want to basically put all of your context and let AI try to find like what you like, what you want to do, what are you going to do tomorrow, when are you going to do it, when did you done it. It's this is more simplicity is the best thing that we have built through this week. And also, we have made our payment system. I would like to share it with you.
Let's go, Arda. I'm loving the technical richness of detail, man. I think someone out there might be inspired on how I actually build a system. One thing I want to note, Arda, is this is exactly, I think, the assumption a lot of people have, right? Like, you have a simple AI sort of product. This is based on a chat use case. People think, yeah, it's just, I can use ChatGPT for that. And what is true, yes, ChatGPT is capable and is good in many cases. However, there goes a lot more engineering into nailing the right message in the right moment. Because what you see with ChatGPT or Claude models or other models of that sort is that also very quickly you get a lot of slop, which means just a lot of context or content out of these models, which is not really that useful. And we spend a lot of time engineering basically a solution to ensuring that there's really high density, high quality information, and this is what goes into that, just as added context. But now, Arda, back to you for the paywall, and then I think back to Eli.
Bro, it's just explaining our
So
entire
basically, we
backend
have built our
improvements.
first payment system for our pilot users, and right now, this is how our paywall looks like. And yeah, our payment system is like $20 per month. This is not $10. This is just a mock-up, basically. It is $20 per month, and first month you get a free trial. We would like you to try the app for 30 days, and we want to take your money afterwards, basically. We just want you to try it first. And like, if you look at our landing page, you would see that it is so simple, and we don't have any information about the product. We just have one just button that connects you to our app. That means we just want you to use it, and if you love it, we would like you to pay us. Yeah, basically, this is the thing.
Yeah.
And
Like, in other words, I guess you could say we just don't want you to pay for a product that you haven't really experienced and started to love yet. Like, just to rephrase it.
And this is the actual thing. And like, it's a life coaching app. It's not a what do they call an organizational system that's like OrgOS or just like Slack and like Instagram Premium or something. This is just an AI life coaching app, and you would never ever see that what you're going to use without experiencing it. So basically, it's always the risk when you just have a new psychologist or like other doctors. You just basically pay and go and experience it. If you don't like it, you don't go back there, actually. And this is kind of the same feeling that we would like to give to our users.
Cool, man.
Try the app. Nova.reflecta.so. Please try the app and send us some feedbacks.
Yeah, sure.
So from my side, thank you, Arda. Thanks for joining the stream from Istanbul. Can't wait to have you here soon in Cape Town as well. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll go back to Eli. And yeah, bye from the team. Want to wave for Arda? Bye, Arda.
Bye. Take care,
man. See you, Arda. Take care. All right. Back to the front end or design side of things. I think there's a lot of back end talk, definitely, which I think is super interesting for a couple of you. I would have loved to see something like this maybe like a few years back. All right. So obviously, for an App Store submission, you don't just need a backend. You also need some proper assets. Now, a lot of times with these App Store submissions especially, they get very picky, where it's like if you don't use proper screenshots or you kind of claim, make false claims in these assets, they will actually reject your submission, which is super painful because that, sets you back by a couple of days. So we really try to, make sure keep this as realistic and as clean as possible. Also, by the way, I love these iPhone mockups, which Joe bought for me for $3. Yeah, amazing. So this is going to be the icon that you'll be able to see on the App Store. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the assets. I could also demo the onboarding flow, but I think we're kind of running out of time here.
Let's save it for next week. There's some goodies there. But just on landing page very quickly, I'm in love with it. I really like the simplistic approach to design. It's what we try to do with all the products we also build. Because to me, also simplicity is always the most sophisticated version of it. We have one great question in the chat. So what is Nova fed with, basically? Like, is it scientific, psychological papers, or what does it base its answers on, and so forth? And I can maybe give a bit of insight. Today, we put a lot of care into prompting to model, and in the model is already a lot of past behavioral sessions from coaches and therapists and so forth included. So we basically look at, hey, this is, in the base knowledge of, let's say, a model like Claude, there's a lot of knowledge on these sort of things, and we use this what already exists. And we then steer the model behavior more specifically in also tasteful ways, what we think is useful, right? Because we, for example, say we don't want this deep dive therapy app where you just talk very long about your feelings all the time. But we want to make an app for ambitious people to reach their goals. So we're really priming and guiding the model to work closely on those goals and help you identify the next step and so forth. Yet there is, I think, a big thing we're going to explore in the coming weeks, and Eli might not know of his luck yet. No, you do. We're going to explore more the power of this, which differentiates this then from, let's say, ChatGPT or other products, is actually the scientific framework we put in there. And we're going to map out more formally what the different theories like CBT, I think it's called cognitive behavioral theory and so forth, what these things are, or like limiting beliefs. This is a big field in psychology and so forth, and we try to make this more explicit. So we're really going to improve the way the model responds based on these scientific papers step by step by working also closely with a lot of leadership coaches that we have internally at Acta. Everyone here has basically a coach they work with, and we embed this more and more into the product. So there's also a lot of the work in the coming weeks. So thanks for the question, Hendrik. Shout out to you. That's it for Nova. Any famous last words?
Nova.reflector.so.
Sign up now. Okay, thanks. Good job, good job. Thanks, Eli. Wow, you the claps? Nice, that's the excitement. Now we're going to continue with Agent OS. And we have a new character joining again. Not joining like new, but like an existing character joining again today. Johan. For the ones who don't know what Agent OS is our attempt to build fully AI native companies. In other words, we want to allow you to prompt a company into existence. And we're doing a lot of work on how to make multi-agent setups work and so forth. But I think the man who can explain it best is Johan. Johan, you want to show us a bit what you did this week, where we are? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. Honestly, I'd say a bit more tired than like during the demo last time, because we're like so.
Why?
Shouldn't have said that. No, the thing is, like, we realized, like, especially over the last few days, that we, like, the mock-up was nice, like the first demo we did, but there are like some sort of very tough engineering problems, especially related to sub-agents and how we want to map them out, that we have to solve, especially like over the next few weeks, and that will involve like lots of sort of more technical things. Some things which we I think have like figured out quite well, and others where there's still like quite a bit of work to do. That's why we probably won't be able to show you a live demo today, just some sort of design considerations for the next few weeks. And yeah, possibly sort of explain like a few more things in detail.
Cool. Before we jump into it, I think there was one interesting perspective. So we started working on a technical proof for the theory we have, how we can make very complicated tasks like build me landing page, and goes actually all the way through deploying. It's not just, the first design, but actually goes, refines, and so forth. We were starting with the technical proof for that. And we switched things a bit this week, where we started actually with the end product. So we're asking, what is the end experience that I want to use, me, Luis, as I build more companies with this AI native setup. And I think this was a good angle to take, because now it becomes clear that we can work our way backwards through the technology, like all the things we figure out, but they're really always decided in relation to what the end experience should be like. And I think this was a good step to take, and also helped in terms of clarity. So yeah, let's maybe jump into the demo. And also, what's up, Shannon? Welcome to the chat again. Good to see you again this week. Great. So there you go.
So I guess like the initial landing page is going to be like it's going to stay like quite straightforward. Like the whole idea is we want people to just like prompt anything. Like people already know they can add like some integrations that we will need for like sort of like smaller web apps. But beyond that, I just want to keep it as like sort of simple and clean as possible. Get users to just like prompt anything and then see the results rather than sort of figuring out what the product actually should do. So that's pretty much the same as last time. We sort of reworked the whole sort of design language. So we're talking about companies now, because sort of going into detail, obviously Why doesn't this?
You can tell it's a live demo if it's not working, but we're making it work. We have basically the demo running on his computer, and I'm just using the IP address here to launch it. Now it's completely broken. Can I reload? There we go, man. Quick fix. You know, this is the speed at which we fix bugs at Acta. You know, there we go. Minutes, not hours.
Yeah, I just had to restart the dev server. So the whole idea is like, obviously we're going to create products, but we need distribution and like tons of these tools surrounding it. So the whole design language changed. We're looking at companies now, not products being built, and products are just like a small part of a company. So later on, we are going to map out some like things in distribution. We're hiding this under this like breadcrumb like for the moment. Again, because like these things are going to be like sort of very sort of technically complex and will cost like a lot of credits. We also sort of want to keep like users always up to date with like sort of their spend, so they can figure that out. Sort of user management system is implemented.
The main thing also more?
Yeah, sure. We reshuffled some of the sort of main elements. Sort of this mission control tab is going to be like pretty similar. Just users will always have the ability to add more integrations. And towards the the main tab, we realized, okay, this sort of like flow implementation we had before is a bit too technical, right? So like, let's say more technical users might be interested in seeing how agents pass tasks between each other. But for non-technical users, that's not interesting. So that's why we added operator and Kanban. Kanban is basically just sort of a Kanban board implementation of the task list that the agent has internally. And operator is basically sort of our new way to talk to Agent OS. And here you can basically sort of ask it sort of things about the workflow that's going on right now. So I could, for example, ask it, like, let's say some sort of next steps. And then we'll sort of look at the agent state, sort of observing, okay, like I've got these things done. I've got these issues, this sort of overall task, and then sort of try to look ahead and see sort of where things are going. That's sort of the design approach you want to take.
Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. The biggest challenge is still making those things work in really high quality. So when I go there and say, build a great landing page for me, build the MVP of this product, do my zero growth for me, do cold outreach for me, we need to really fix the quality problems that exist. And today there are plenty still, but we have some cool ideas on making that work, but this is now the majority of the work that's in front of us. So I'm stoked for that. We also defined a new mission very clearly on a website you can read if you're interested in more details. But for now, I think that's a great overview. So Johan, thank you so much. Good job. All right. For the ones who just joined now, who are watching live on stream, thank you for being here. It's always so much fun for us to see people comment, be active in chat, watch the things that we do. And for the ones who just joined, we're basically doing a weekly demo session where we want to share with you what we are working on at Acta, which is basically a company that builds companies. We're building, at the moment, 3 different ventures, and we just went through 2 updates of these ventures. Now continuing with the third one, a project called Rio, where this week I think a bit of housekeeping was in order in terms of code base. But first, Akshat, how are you? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I would say I'm feeling pretty good. I have a lot of work ahead, so I'm still thinking about that internally and just joining the stream. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. This was a good week. Yeah, I went for a morning run. That might be surprising, but yeah. Yeah, so excited to get into the product and what we did this week.
Yeah, shout out to you for that one. This week, I want to show you what I did to map out a team internally, which is actually Reflector. Why are you laughing, bro? Okay, so Eli's laughing. We don't know why, but we'll find out shortly, I guess. So this week I used Rio, the tool. You find it here. You can find it under userio.com. And I mapped out how Reflector actually works. And the way this process works for Rio, it's a tool to help you build self-optimizing organizations. Maybe sounds a bit like marketing thing. To phrase it differently, if you look at teams starting with a size of 3 or 4 people, but all the way to 50 people, oftentimes there's a lot of chaos in the way they manage goals, in the way they have ownership distributed for certain metrics of the business and so forth. And a method I was introduced by a leadership coach like 5 years ago, something called role-based organization, where you basically ask the question, so what do we need to do well in our company for us to be super successful? And you go through the process of mapping roles. And it's not necessarily that it's about a job title, but it's rather like an internal role, a thing that we need to do recurringly every week, every month, really well for us to nail the way we run our company and run it really smoothly. You wanna, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So like we can think of roles as something which keeps company's objective in mind while giving a person freedom to do what he likes. So like still the goals are aligned for what a company needs, but individual still has a freedom and not like a strict job title or a very narrow set of things he can do. Yeah.
Cool. So the way I just want to show you now, the way you would think about adding a role is, for example, internally at Reflector, we obviously want to learn from users, get feedback, right? This is an important function that we need to do well every week. So we'll come up and say, hey, we have a new role, it's called feedback lead. The purpose of this role is that we ensure that we get weekly feedback from customers so we can improve our product and so forth. And now I could list down the accountabilities, for example, talk to at least 5 customers a week, compile a report for us internally and so forth. And then you can very quickly add this to a metric, which we can pull from a lot of data sources, basically any tool that has an API we'll plug into, combined with an assignment. For example, in this case, Eli, you can create it and then all of a sudden you have it here on the map. And this is how you can slowly, step by step, visualize how an org is supposed to work in the optimal form. This for now is just, I would say, a basic mapping tool. You could do this also on Figma or on Miro or something else. Where the true power now comes into is when we connect it to KPIs, so metrics. So for example, for the product lead, we might have MRR, revenue, as a key metric. And now all of a sudden we could have this right here visualized in real time, what is actually a metric today. And where it also gets interesting, on top we could start adding goals, because in the end you can think of an organization as an optimization problem. You try to optimize on many different fronts, but if there's no clarity who should optimize what, chances are everything boils down to the one lead engineer or this one CEO person that always micromanages and is the source of everything. You can actually here put people in charge of different metrics, so have real ownership on the success of the company. I think this is just a great way to think about companies, and this is also what we did this week internally just for Reflector, for me to play with the product a bit. The other thing I also did this week was I talked to 8 customers in sum, so these are 8 potential people that could get a lot of benefit out of Rio. And those were really interesting calls. Some of them were with organizations which are just like 2 or 3 people. Some were like 20 people, others were like 40, and one even 250 people. And it's interesting to see that all of them have some sort of pain points around how we run a company. Some run on OKRs, objective key results. It's like one of the methods that Google, for example, uses a lot. Another one runs on areas of responsibility. Another one doesn't run on any of these and just has, a Google sheet to track things. It's really different, but all of them kind of know. Like a few quotes were, everyone in the team hates the OKR sessions, and I also think you never rise to the level of your ambition, but fall to the level of your systems you have in place. And this is sort of the anecdote we also apply to organizations. So yeah, we're talking to a lot of people. We're building out the product. Acta is now focused on making KPIs work even better. So maybe you want to share what you did this week to, at least conceptually, what you're now needing to do, so we can start onboarding the first people.
So like we did a lot of minor fixes and like a lot of UX stuff. Maybe we can show some of the draw capabilities or all of the stuff that we did. So while making out these maps, you can maybe add, discuss, and all the people in the team can suggest what they like, don't like, and stuff like that. So yeah, but a lot more time went into solving the hard data problem, which like a lot of other softwares also do, which might not be the primary focus of OrgOS, but it still is very, very important for us to have continuous metrics. What we mean by that is, once you integrate any data from anywhere, let's say you integrate your YouTube likes, they should be continuously updated and they should keep track of what changed at which point in time. So nobody has to go back in again and then add the metric again. So for example, you see right now here, the user message is sent or this data, this is only as latest as 28 November. But today it is late, but like today it is some day of December. So like these are still not getting updated automatically because we are manually adding them, and like we are just fetching them one time. Yeah, so a lot of my time went into drawing or architecting how we can get these to work automatically and in a way where we can scale and add a lot more metrics really fast without any hurdles. Yeah, so also for me it was really interesting because we are thinking of code in a different way. Even though OrgoS is not like a very heavy AI app, but still with AI, software engineering has changed. And like now there are a set of problems which can be solved, which was totally not possible before. And with AI, you can have dynamic system that generates the code for you instead of you writing all the code yourself. So it is like a little experimentative or something new that I'm doing that I haven't done before. It's so when we get data from any third party, we can hard code or write the code to convert it into whatever format we need. But instead of writing that code, we are going to write a prompt and make a system where AI looks at that data and it writes the code for you to add it into the database or to take that data from the database and show it in the chart. So there can be a lot of permutation, combinations, and like a possible ways we can do that, because all of third party gives you data in different formats and each chart accepts it in a different format. And different users might have different preferences, somebody like pie charts, somebody like bar charts. So that I think is a very interesting point and a really value driving thing for OrgoS if we get it right. This Rio, sorry. We just changed it, so I'm still catching up. Yeah, so that could be a very interesting point and like a real value driver in itself if we get it right. Yeah.
Awesome, cool, thank you. So to translate to people who have no idea about code, well, we want to track all of the metrics, we need to figure out how. He figured out how, now it's about implementing, and then we continue. Awesome, thank you Akshat, good job, nice. I would say, looking at the time, Joe, do you want to share a bit on recruiting, or? Let's do it real quick. Let's go, man. Awesome. Joe is back. Joe, the man solving all the problems that come up, not burning fires, but like fighting fires. What were you up to this week? How are you?
Hi, what's up? I'm Joe. I'm back to HR Joe actually, and this week we were looking for people intensely. I was doing hiring. Oh, it's not updated. Yeah, perfect. So hiring. We're looking for 2 people, one lead software engineer and one lead product/design person. So the lead software engineer is needed at Nova to help out Ili and Ada, and then the lead product/design person is needed for Rio. I was having 4 tracks in play, which I was playing. I will walk you through. First one, media, as one of our biggest running machines. It's always a nice leverage. We were playing a reel. Justus created like a really nice reel, nice script, and
It was Chris.
Chris did the script? Yeah. No, I didn't do the script. The script, yeah. I'm just talking about the script. However,
just to explain to the people, we have an internal joke that whenever there's a nice video, popping up internally, like people are like, "Wow, Justus, you did such a great job, man! Nice video." And the truth is, it's not just Justus; it's also Chris. No. Chris? No. No. What is the thing? Tell us.
Sometimes people are just saying, "Oh, you did well, Chris. Good vlog," and then it was Justus and me, or it's Justus.
So in both directions.
Yeah, but okay.
Sure thing. That's what I would tell myself as well when I go to sleep. But no, I'm joking. It's that way. It's in both directions. Okay, back to you.
So yeah, Chris and Justus, thank you very much for the reel. It was really nice. It got quite some traction in the test rate already. It got 40 comments or something, so it went well. I also created a story with Luis together. It was quite fun. Nothing special, just putting the link. And I made a video where I'm explaining real quick what the role is. This will come into play later.
Man, wow.
nice positioning. Diese Farben, yeah. So yeah, that was the media track, and then I did my personal thing, outreach, loads and loads of outreach. My best channel actually for that turned out to be X, because on X there's quite some nice people out which you wouldn't find on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is not really for the creatives, for the founders sometimes a bit, but also they are, I think, better sourced on X. So I put in, for example, design engineer in the search bar and went through and found a lot of good people. Raul, for example, I had a talk with him this week. If you're watching, cheers. I really liked your portfolio, it would look really nice. Or Florian also had a really nice portfolio. I'm texting all the people and getting some calls in. And the third track is actually a search engine. So also there we're using AI with Juicebox. It's a very nice tool actually. You can search up your whole position you're looking for. And other than on LinkedIn, you just search up one specific thing. Here you put everything in, get a few filters, and then get very high quality profiles, which I also reached out to. The last track we're using is actually our ambassador program, where we have 2 ambassadors and 2 universities. Cheers to Santiago and Konstantin at HPI and Code University, because those 2 universities are really nice in Berlin. They are very founder oriented. So on those we found out that we can source some really nice people. And Johan, you also studied at Code? No, never mind. Anyways, those are some nice universities. Had some nice interviews from there as well. And all that came down together to my tele survey, which I created. That's where the video was placed, explaining real quick when you click on the link, hey, that's what we're looking for, that's why you're here. And then they can apply. This resulted in a few sign-ups. Don't leak names. So 5 responses on the designer part and 28 responses on the software engineer role. And this was just the ones where I was sitting there lazy and waiting for the replies. But yeah, I was just waiting for it actually. I was just refreshing every day and looking, okay, who applied. And then I had some nice interviews from there as well. But actually, the ones I sourced from X were also really, really nice. I turned out to have 16 interviews this week. Met quite some cool people. So hello to everybody who I talked to. Might see you soon in the office. And yeah, if you haven't applied yet and these roles sound interesting to you, click in the link below. There's 2 tele links for both roles. You can just sign up there, and then I might talk to you very soon.
Nice. Well done. I really know you grinded this week to get them, and even though maybe we have not hit yet the full number that we want for the interviews or like get to know calls, it's on a really good track. One thing I want to shout you out, I really like, even though it's just a telephone, but still it's nicely done. You know, it's real the vibe, it's few words, it's real to the point. Also the video I think looks really aesthetically nice. So these small details really matter, right? So shout out for also getting this nice. So yeah, good job, man. Let's go. Let's crush next week. Oh no, now we come to the worst part of the stream. It's time for the media team. I need to hand the mic over to you, and I hope you can share what you did. Okay. By the way, you didn't send the link, bro. We cannot show.
What? Oh no, I didn't. Here.
You know, so the media team always thinks they're the best. You know, they're always crushing it, carrying the team. You know, what is carrying the team is forgetting to send the sheet before the stream starts. That's the first. Yeah, that's the first.
The best always comes last. You know, there's a reason for these quotes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. As always, the best comes last. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Justus.
Hi, chat, and any people watching this. As always, we're gonna share what we did, what we learned, all our metrics, all our insights on the social media side. We are growing. But more on that now. So we're gonna talk about some numbers we hit, what we actually shipped to the world, and the learnings we got along the way.
Bro, no, he's eating so loud. I needed to look back, bro. Wow.
Okay, guys, let's focus.
Okay, focus a bit.
Tell them about this.
About the nice sheet that we did. So basically, what we planned, you can see a nice whiteboard that is that is blocking the side of you for the others. However, we did a nice whiteboard session with Luis together where we structured our content, what we want to publish the next week, what we want to tackle on, and we decided that we want to focus on 4 main brands actually. So Acta Unfiltered, Louis Mogner, and two personal brands, Justus and my brand. And we now figured out, I don't need to go in detail, you can screenshot it, but basically here are all of the content pieces that we want to do, the weeks. So that's a bare minimum actually. And now, on Figma again, you can see the real numbers, and we actually screenshotted every account.
Yeah, quick overall, we're at, I think by now we should have hit 13K on Instagram.
Yeah.
So we're growing there, thanks to all of you. And since we're now focusing also on your brand, on my brand, on Louis's brand, we're at 40K overall followers. Yeah. So getting to the 100,000 and million numbers should be easier now. And here are all the details, so you can see we're not lying about the numbers. Of all the platforms, we have Jesus Christ. We have Acta, we have Louis, our CEO, we have my brand, we have Chris's brand, and we're growing on all of them. Now laying more focus on personal content, on long form content, on some new pieces that will come out in the future. So yeah, be excited to see that. But numbers are looking good. Not the growth that we are used to in number terms, but
definitely not, no.
Going in the right direction.
Yes. So, what did we ship to the world? That's probably one of the most important parts in our wonderful presentation. So what did we ship to the world? 2 Acta Reels. Actually, we can just hop on Ron, I think, if the link is working.
Open them. Yeah. We're going to show you some Reels. In case you're not following us on Instagram, big mistake. Follow us there. And does it work? Do you know which reel this is?
No, I don't fucking know.
All right, we will see. Surprise us. Ah.
Nice.
Nice.
Our CEO has a time limit.
As here's the time limit. Perfect.
Can you maybe help us?
Help us or?
You open it in Chrome, bro.
Oh, he's a Chrome user. Ah. Technical problems, guys. Technical problems. You know, this happens when the social media part isn't having the laptop, but the CEO is. Some little problems. They're trying to paste the link into Chrome because Safari and the Apple browser doesn't work. But you should be there now.
So now we are going to show you a reel that only Justus did.
Chris also worked on it.
Co-founders just gave us money to invest in 2 more young builders. Up to $80,000 for each of them. Because after burning 70K in just 6 months, these 2 guys realized they need help. He needs a lead software engineer and he needs a lead designer. I mean, look at this. This is Joe. He's responsible for hiring. So if you want those 80K, say hi to Joe in the comments and he will give you all the details.
And the money.
And the reel there.
Maybe before we go to the next reels, let's actually talk about some tactics we did there. Is this the Figma board?
No.
Cool.
It is, but like, it's fine.
Okay. The Figma board will load, but I'm going to walk through to the new tactic, how we got to this reel. Because actually, this wasn't, it was our first option, but we did, oh God, my settings are, thank you. We actually did 4 separate reels. These are all from the storyline, from the content itself. They're all different reels. You see them here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We posted those test reels on Instagram, used the option to post them, and then gathered data on which one we wanted to post. And we figured out, even though this one has more views, this one completely flopped and didn't work, and this one has similar views, the reel that worked with the lowest views actually brought in the most comments and the most signups. So we decided, okay, this has the greatest watch time, the greatest data points, so we went with this one. And this is a great example on how to use test reels to actually test out content.
But it's also a great learning because we were actually surprised that it did get like just only 6K views, and we thought, hey, maybe the hook is not too good or the retention in general, and maybe we should have went for another reel. So it's quite hard to maybe say what reel is the best in terms of just like comments, for example.
I think there's a question in chat, but before that, actually there's one important insights. If you start out on social media, you have no follower base. So every reel you post gets released to a new audience, and there's no other people watching the reel before that. So it's easier to tap into a new follower base, like for us Indian engineers, for example, and reach like 500,000 people. But once you have a follower base, obviously your reel not only gets sent out to people who haven't seen you yet, but also to your current follower base. And if you do new reels that maybe are not that interesting to your current follower base, because you try to reach other reels, then the views won't be that high. Back to you, Chris.
And we also shipped 2 Luis Mognar reels. We unfortunately can't show Luis DMs. One question from the chat. No, we can't do that. However, what's our biggest challenge right now? Probably scaling in general, right?
Yeah.
So it's. Do you want to answer it?
Quick answer. Every person you see behind us is working really hard on the thing they are currently doing. And every week there's a different topic that we as a media team should focus on. For example, next week there will be a launch. So our job will probably be to launch this app and get people to know about it. But then there's hiring, which was a big topic this week. So we always shift our focus to the one that drives revenue. Good example?
Or not. I think actually the biggest problem right now is probably reach in general. We want to focus on more like maybe the viral videos right now, because we already focused on the community reels last week. So yeah, let's see. However, oh my god, we did a lot of filming this week. We published 3 Acta unfiltered reels. I published a personal brand reel. And we have still a lot of in the pipeline. We have 1 Acta shot in the pipeline that is going to be finished this weekend. 1 YouTube video from Luis Mognar right there. And there's also published on Sunday, actually. We have 5 test reels, and Justus is going to publish his YouTube video hopefully on the weekend, and the short as well. And as well, we used our nice YouTube beta feature where you can test out thumbnails and titles together, which is great. As you can see, we tried a lot of things, and I'm very excited what happens after 11 days and what thumbnail performed the most or the best with the title.
Yeah.
Before I hop in learnings, do you want to say something? Okay.
Right away. For any of you that has seen our content on social media and everywhere else, it seems very chaotic, and it seems like we're just like a random group of friends hopping in front of the camera and talking some bullshit. But we're actually going very strategic and number-wise to those points, testing, using data as a point, while also following our gut. So don't underestimate data. If you don't understand what your followers want, you can't serve them right. So getting that data is important. Now to the learnings.
You can start.
Learning by doing. You often find yourself in trying to figure out what should work and what could work and what's the perfect plan, but really you learn by doing. You saw this in us posting the test reels. Of course, we can just plan for 6 days and trying to figure out what the best reel is, but we also just do and then see what's working. So do shit, then you learn shit.
Can add something to that. You can think about 100 ideas in your mind, but the only one that matters is what you publish.
Oh, is that maybe a spoiler to the next reel on Acta?
Maybe.
Maybe. Film more. We are now posting, I think, on 3 long-form YouTube channel, 5. We try to capture everything on unfiltered. We document the personal stories of anyone. We try to capture as much as possible and film as much as possible, because then we can do more, film more, and as you heard before, you learn by doing. And last point.
Community over reach. We hit the right audience with the last 3 reels, actually, because there were like multiple creatives that liked our reel. For example, the Spider-Man reel that we published like I think 1.5 weeks ago, and it got the right audience that we wanted. And as well, we had the brother of Daniel Dallin wrote underneath one of our Acta reels, which is quite funny, because we not bashed, but we publicly said that bidding a public is a bit weak right now on YouTube and other platforms, which is actually just truth, like honestly. yeah, and that just shows you can target the right audience if you are focusing on a script with content, with like real content, and not just build a reel for the sake of reach.
So it's very great to see that we have so many great, talented engineers and creatives that like our content or follow us. That's where we want to grow with the media department. And yeah, to the last point, we want your feedback. We need your feedback. Please give us your feedback. We wanted to be roasted. If you have something you didn't like, say it to us. Roast us. Give us idea on how do we do it better. Then we use this idea. We need feedback because it's very easy to talk internally. This is cool and we love this, but at the end we're doing this content not only for us but also for you guys. So give us feedback. Any more on that, Chris?
Give us feedback.
Thank you. That was the media team.
And by the way, there was one question: what will be the next move for Nova? It's probably bankruptcy.
Black box?
Bankruptcy.
Bankruptcy? Yeah, easy. Give us like 2 weeks.
This is bad humor. I don't get these Gen Z people. It's not funny, but
the same generation.
no, man, I'm so much more mature. Well, thank you guys for watching. I just read through the questions. Next move for Nova. Actually, it's answered quickly. Well, launch it to the App Store. Get it into the hands of people. Tomorrow we're submitting it. Ili?
Can we also do a quick shout out to all the people who are literally sending me messages on WhatsApp to like any daytime or whatnot, scheduling feedback calls with me, you know, like hyping up the product, suggesting new features, you know. Shout out to all of these. Thanks.
Shout out to our users, to all the people supporting early on. Yeah, and no, we're not going to show my DMs. Okay, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again next Friday with another round of updates, things we worked on. Also, let us know about the format. We noticed a lot of people are seeing these streams after we stream them, so just as a video on YouTube. And it's so cool to see that there's people watching. But guys, comment. Let us know what you want to see, what we should improve. Call us out on our bullshit. Tell us what we did well, what we didn't do well. I think this is really fun, so don't hesitate. Thanks again. Enjoy your evening. See you next time. Cheers!